Ticketmaster thinks you don't pay enough for tickets. People still get duped by ads, and I take a big fat look at my old obesity video. All this and more when you support The Habit at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. It seems like every other week we find out that celebrity accessibility was a mistake. Maybe it was celebrity itself that was a mistake, making the court jesters into kings and queens. But you'd think that this era of social media, streaming, the fact that we went from there being like 20 celebrities in the 50s to 2 million celebrities in the 2020s, where you can see and hear their every thought 24 hours a day, interact with them, meet them live, that this novelty of celebrity would have worn off. That people still wouldn't have this idolization of famous people, the same way they did in these eras where celebrities were these seemingly untouchable gods. Girls and grown women screaming and fainting at Beatles and Elvis concerts because they think they made eye contact, when in reality they couldn't see fuck all on stage through the lights. But the novelty has not worn off. In fact, as we've seen over the years, it has only made people more parasocial, believing that these celebrities are their friends, who are speaking to them directly through their art, their content. Sometimes because they are literally doing that via Twitter, via their chat. And those celebrities now owe them their time, their attention, their lives. Which brings us to the Emiru incident. I know. Just call me TwitchCon security, cause I'm a little slow to the draw on this one. But this is a video I think you'll be coming back to a few more times over the next few years to say, looks like another one happened. So, Emiru is a relatively popular Twitch streamer, 1.9 million followers. To give you an idea of just how many fucking celebrities we have now, that makes her the 186th most popular streamer on the platform. There are 185 people who are more popular. Anyway, she was one of the main draws this year at TwitchCon, the ultimate gathering for parasocial weirdos who spend all day in their dirty bedrooms watching Twitch to meet the streamers who spend all day talking to you from their dirty bedrooms. Emiru was doing some sort of meet and greet when a man walked up to her, grabbed her, tried to kiss her or lick her or put his mouth on her in some way before security finally steps in, shoves him, and he just casually walks away. No one stopped him from walking up to her in the first place, and no one detained him as he walked away. As I record this, we have no idea who this guy even was, though Twitch seems to, because you want to know what his punishment was? Initially, Emiru was told he was banned for 30 days. You groped a woman and tried to kiss her. This is sexual assault or attempted sexual assault in most civilized places. No TV for 30 days. Which, you don't need to be logged into Twitch to watch it anyway. What a non-punishment. Even after they changed it to indefinite, who gives a fuck? Maybe it'd be bad if he was a creator of some notoriety, but clearly he's not. Because if he was, we know who he was. Like if fucking Asmongold walked up and tried to give some streamer the bushwhacker treatment, we know. By the way, the Rat King himself predicted something like this would happen a month before TwitchCon, which is like predicting rain when you see dark clouds. It's not that impressive. But this guy seems to be just some nobody, some parasocial fan, whose motives we can only speculate on. Which is kind of fun. Was he someone who had it in his head that he'd just walk up to Emiru, kiss her, and she'd fall madly in love with him? Was he someone who felt scorned by her when she didn't reply to him in the chat, so he felt he needed to take what was his? Again, we have no fucking idea. I really don't know why they're protecting this guy better than Twitch protected Emiru. He wasn't arrested. Was he banned from re-entering the convention? No other girls reported being tongue-bathed by a large gawky man in a plaid shirt, so maybe. But anyway, Emiru was not thrilled by the response from Twitch. While dressed as a circus ringmaster for some reason, she talked about how she had to spend $10,000 on her own security. Clearly not money well spent, and was told by Twitch she couldn't bring a bodyguard she'd used previously because there was an incident where he got too rough with a fan. Sorry, you can't use the good security. Also, man, bystander syndrome is a real thing. No one does anything in that clip. Not the guy she was talking to before this, no one in the crowd. 12% of Americans think they could fight a wolf barehanded. I guess none of those guys were lined up to meet Emiru. 0% of Americans thought they could fight a dumpy man in a button-up. A few hours after the incident, Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, was interviewed about it, and this is what he had to say.
The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there.
You know that would only make things worse, right? There's a reason why so many social media platforms have gotten rid of ban buttons in exchange for mute buttons. Like, what if this was some guy who Emiru had banned from her channel, and now he's mad and taking revenge? And she didn't get to vet the list of people who bought tickets to TwitchCon. Does TwitchCon take bans into account when buying tickets? I don't think so. They just want your money. Dan was asked about the security and how this guy was able to just walk up to a creator, and this was his answer.
The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right?
It's your convention. You've invited these creators to, quote, put themselves out there and charge these goobers $160, $170 a day to come and gawk at the internet celebrities. You're profiting off this, Dan. So yes, that's exactly the challenge you were tasked with, keeping the grabby creeps at bay, and you failed that challenge. But it sounds like he's basically blaming Emiru for this, as of course are a bunch of other losers.
Emiru is literally a goon streamer, lol. IDK what she expected. This is literally her type of audience. As soon as I learned she was just another Twitch thought, I kinda lost all sympathy.
Massive incel take, and there's a lot more where this came from. But yes, Twitch should have known we're inviting these hot girls that lonely, desperate parasocial nutters have paid a bunch of money to over the years. Maybe we should try and make sure they're better protected. Fuck, it was only weeks before this that a South Korean streamer was murdered by one of her simps, a man who had allegedly given her $70,000. He was pretending to be this rich bigwig, but he basically drained his life savings, and when she rejected him, he killed her and dumped her body on a mountain. So that happens, and Twitch goes, well, we got this convention coming up where we're gonna grant unprecedented access to streamers and their pay piggies. A system we created, by the way, allowing people to donate as much money as they want to creators. Many of those people probably feel like they're owed something for all that money they've spent, on top of the money they had to pay to get in the building. I'm sure doing the bare minimum for security will be fine, right? But real celebrities got these problems too. This also happened in October. Days before the Emiru incident, Billie Eilish got grabbed by a fan at a concert. Again, these are fans. These are people you think like you. Someone tried to yank her into the crowd. For what reason? I don't know. Her security reacts a little quicker, but this is 3 parasocial incidents of obviously varying degrees of severity. Murder being at the top, being kissed for a second somewhere in the middle, and getting pulled into a crowd by a weirdo at the bottom. But 3 high-profile parasocial fan interactions gone wrong in a month. I feel like these are increasing. Like, they're not new, sure. You had Dimebag Darrell's on-stage shooting by a deranged fan in 2004. Christina Grimmie murdered at a meet and greet just like this by a guy who felt, if I can't have her, no one can, in 2016. In 2021, a man attacked WWE wrestler Seth Rollins live on TV because he believed that Seth had scammed him out of money via Instagram DMs. Someone pretending to be Seth Rollins asked for $5,000 in gift cards, and this sad loser really believed it was the actual wrestler. So, he took revenge on him at the show. Those 3 incidents all happened over the course of 17 years, not 3 incidents in 17 days. I don't know, maybe I'm cherry picking, and maybe I'm naive. Maybe in the 90s, Alicia Silverstone and Jennifer Aniston were being felt up by fans all the time, and we just didn't hear about it. Security quietly took them to the nearest back alley and beat the retinas off of them, and there was no TMZ back then to cover it. But I think the rise in access and interaction with celebrities, or perceived access and interaction, is going to lead to more of these things happening. It used to be that you thought fans of celebrities were schizophrenics when they'd say shit like, oh, she's speaking to me through the TV. Now, these creators literally are speaking to them through their screens, saying their names when they make donations, answering their questions, inviting them to these conventions to spend a moment with them. That's what Ploppa Smurf was doing when he was rudely interrupted by Gary Gropes a lot. And we're finding out why celebrities used to be so inaccessible. So again, where did we make the mistake? Was it allowing fans near them? Was it celebrity worship? Was it celebrity itself? The answer to that is probably yes, all of it. But we're here now. No putting that genie back in the bottle, Miss Aguilera. And I really do think it's only gonna get worse. But whatever. I'm probably just jealous that I'm not famous enough to be molested and have my corpse tossed on a mountain. Or maybe no one fucks with me because I'm always holding an axe in my pictures. They say never meet your heroes. No, never meet your fans. Without a hatchet in your hand. You need an axe, Emiru? I know a guy.